Hey, good morning, traders. How we doing? I just had to redo my video because I hit the wrong button. How's it going? You guys get any trades yesterday? You guys watch yesterday? What'd you do? Hey, today's a Fed day for those that are news traders. Looks like we got some stuff in the morning here, and then around 11, the market's going to go crazy. I trade about 7:30, 7:15 to about 10:15, 10:30 on Fed days. I don't trade the news. It's not my wait before we leave. It's not my style. Tomorrow we've got some stuff in the morning. It's before we trade, so that's not that big a deal. Then Friday it looks like we got a couple things going on as well, early morning stuff. I'm usually in the market between, like I said, 7:15, 11:15. For lack of a bet, somewhere in there. Excuse me. There's just a lot of volume activity going on at that time, so that's when I'm interested in trading. I need the fluctuation of the market for my business to run. And so I'm looking for a 3-to-1 trade. I'm looking for an impulse leg, right? The contraction and expansion of the market. Price expands, comes down here. And I'm just trying to maintain my consistency, right? So I've got an impulse leg, a shelf where sellers or buyers, in this case it's sellers, kind of hold their orders. And then this wash, they bounces down here, wash comes up, right? And see how it's big bar here, this whole thing's a wash. It just wiped out all these orders, right? There's stops behind here, there's stop right there, and people reposition themselves. So price comes down, takes off, and then step 5 is they enter or they turn around and come back down after that. So when I'm looking for a 3-to-1 trade, I'm looking to buy at the bottom as close to the pivot as possible. So I have to understand what a pivot looks like. Of all these components, the wash might be one of the most important ones because you can hide behind this thing, right? Price has cleaned out everybody, and now it's ready to move on. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Like in this case over here, I was checking out. I posted on the YouTube channel about look at this thing. It's just a huge wash, right? You have your impulse leg up. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on. So excuse me. Gosh darn it. So then price takes off, and I have all the elements here, and this is a much larger time frame, right? This is a different it's the same structure, but it's on a larger time frame, really. So as price comes up, and my trade the other day was right here. I think I got in here because I made this wash, and I didn't make it up. I didn't pretend that this wasn't a wash. I mean, it's a wash for sure, but this is what happens in trading. I got washed out, and look at this. This is tries, boom, 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 and really it's like this right here is the wash, right? So where was that right there, man? So you have to be able to identify these pieces of this puzzle, which is great because now if you're if you only have so much time to trade, you can just pull up your chart, say, oh, I'm here's where I'm at. I can just jump in here and do this. The price is expanding as it is flowing through the market, right? And I'm just going to make some of these things. I'm not making things up. I'm just going to see how I just see that little wash right there. See how it drops down, it pops back up. It's just really quick and violent, and it throws everybody out of balance. But look, right behind it, you've got a trade. You've got an entry. Isn't that cool? Like, like, how many of these do you need a day, a week? Right there. I wouldn't have made it. But let me tell you this. A, you can manage. B, you can do a 2-to-1 trade. 3, you can do a 1-to-1 trade. You have options at this point. You have options on how you want to manage this thing, right? So you want to just follow it up with your stop, and you're going to say, okay, I'm just going to come in here, and I'm just going to follow behind these as it makes a new high. I'm just going to take it up. Okay, it makes a new high. I'm just going to wait here, right? So this price goes up here, pulls back. Now you go from here, or you can even do it this way. Price takes off, right? Pulls back down, goes up, makes a new high. Okay, I'm right here. I'm almost at break even. I'm not going to lose much if this thing pulls back into me, right? We're protecting our profit. Goes up a little bit higher. Okay, I'm right here. Boom. Goes up higher. Okay, great. I'm right here. Now, or you say, I want to take all my money at the pressure cooker, right? We have the kill zone and the pressure. The kill zone is at the bottom where price, this is the kill zone on this swing. Right here. This is the kill zone on this swing. It got popped out. Now, when I lost this trade and I was over here, price came down. I'm going to use this here. So price comes down here. And now I know that either price is going to keep going down or it's going to, or do this, right? I'm not jazzed to trade, right? I just got popped. So I need to observe and figure out what happened. What's going on? Because I'm not getting something right. So price comes along here, and I'm just, watching this. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I missed it. Maybe that's the wash, and if that's the case, then I'm going to wait for price to come back up here. Why? Because the flow is up, right? Now, I realize this is a big, violent down thing, and there's, stuff going on, and, right? How do you, I can't look at all that stuff all the time and pull that into my memory bank so I can say, oh yeah, price is doing this over there. Who cares? Right? Who cares about that stuff? So price says, so I'm not buying this to go up here. Now you could, if you have an impulse leg, if you have, everything you're looking for, maybe you say, okay, well, and I do this. I'm not saying this is wrong, but let me just get rid of this thing. Time being, get rid of this, get rid of this. Because I want you guys to see something here. It's an impulse up, right? That's an impulse. It didn't take this thing out, right? I'm just looking at this little piece right here. I'm going to keep that up because it's relevant. But if price goes back up into here, that's a good amount of cheddar, right? So impulse leg up. Wow, right? Look at that. Look at that. You've locked this out for because you know that there's price is going to bump into something here, and then I'm just going to do this here, and then you come back down here and say, okay, well, maybe this is what I could get into here. There's a wash right there. Right? There's a wash. I'm going to buy this thing. Now, I know it doesn't work because it's in hindsight, but when you're here, right? The only thing that I would say is that right here in this frame, price is stepping down. Top. It's the only thing I would say. And if I was going to look at something, I would look at this wash over here. And maybe, and this is what I didn't do, but maybe I'll just draw a line on that wash and let that thing do its thing. But again, if you're in here and you're long, you're managing this trade. And look at how friggin' cheap this is. If you get in here on this shelf here, it's a little different. You've got to go all the way down here. And that's not that's a pretty big stop. And arguably, I would say that's fine. I would get behind that. I wouldn't worry about this thing over here. But look, again, you can manage, right? Okay, I'm just going to move to break even. I'm going to move up underneath here and see what happens. I'm more of a break even kind of guy because I can see how price, maybe cut it in half. It gives you options, right? You're gonna take the full hit. You can cut it in half. You can move to break even. You can go 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1. Price fluctuates. I'm at the point where sometimes I just want to sit back and just, if price takes off up here, I'm just going to be, okay, take me out. And then I take a little hit. Then it's 9:30 in the morning. I'm just, okay, well, great. Let's keep working. Now it's, and this is hard trading, guys. This isn't easy peasy kind of stuff. This is, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, and it's like, forget it. Yeah, how much energy do you have to deal with this stuff? Right? I don't want to sit here and trade all day. I want to get 1 or 2 trades a week. Again, impulse up, right? Drag your stuff over, right? Where's the shelf? Where's the wash, right? Where is this stuff at? Identify the pieces of the puzzle, and then you can put it together. And at least you're when I see all this stuff and I'm playing with this, I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good wash, right? Where look at all the business there, granted, yes, it's hindsight, but I can take that into my next trade and say, well, instead of buying up here, I can say, okay, well, this is what it's doing. That's a big, long impulse. Is it going to be a short one or a long one? I mean, that's a good looking wash right there. Yeah, you take your chances, guys. It's not, look, I even got a bounce off that thing, right? So now, but we're back over here again, right? Price took off to do this. Didn't go up all the way, right? Where was I at? It was over here. Okay, so then this washed out. So now we have another impulse leg. And let's just say you have the energy to sit through all this stuff, right? You have a shelf right there. Price comes down, washes this out. You have your pressure cooker up here, right? Price hits the pressure cooker after the wash, and you say, I'm going to get in on the shelf down here. You're in right there, and you're behind the wash by a tick or two, right? There's orders oftentimes. Look at that, right behind this stuff. So price is pulling down, and there you have a 3-to-1 trade. Now, if you miss these two, you might be a little disappointed because you didn't make up all your, but you could go, look at this is what, 5-to-1? 5-to-1 trade right there, right? And all this mess and all this stuff that you've just been dumped on, where do you find a 5-to-1 trade? Right there, bottom of the pivot, right? And then it comes back down. And this is why I take my money sometimes at this pressure cooker, because it turns, right? The pressure pushes it back down. It's a gift because now you have a stop, right? Now you have another entry. You can just hide behind this thing. Now, look at, see that thing right there? See that right here? Here's my little thing. See how this stops? Yeah, maybe there's a little order and there's another order, right? So when you're down here and you mark that line, see that? There's tick, tick, tick. There's orders back there. So I don't put my order right on the tick. I come down a little bit. I want to have a little bit of room. If I can afford it, a little bit of room. Okay, so now we're over here, right? Let's just get rid of everything because it's getting cluttered. Price comes up over here, right? And guys, the reason why I do this every day is because I need to practice it. I need to have a really good understanding of what it is I'm trying to, what am I trying to do? I'm looking for a 3-to-1 trade, right? I'm not going to color these in because, so, right? Impulse leg, wash. I'll do it because you guys are learning. red box, boom, 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 boom. Okay, right? So now, right, I have step one, impulse leg. Step two, shelf. See those orders there? Step three, a wash. The big bars, cleaned everybody out, comes back down, hits the high, takes out the high. So now we're really interested, and then pulls back right here, right? And I'm hiding behind this. A couple ticks. You're in at 12:15. You're out at 12:46. A little late in the day for me, but hey, there's another 3-to-1 trade. And as price goes up here, just take your stop and move it to break even. Now you're not going to feel good about this because you're like, oh man, I should have took my money. I do that, but then I just another one, boom, and until it gets to my target. That's it, guys. That's all I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to make a gazillion dollars and go sit on a yacht and sit there and talk about how great trading is. Balderdash. I can say balderdash because nobody is listening at this point. Now, this one here, right? We have an impulse. We have a wash. Right? This wash here. What is the problem here now? If you said this didn't come up to the pressure cooker, then you would say, okay, that's right. And this one kind of does, and we're at the market's closed, so we're gonna have to, we can pretend now. Pretty close, but if you did, even if you did, get in right there for that big stop. Price starts going up. Okay, I'm gonna move my stop underneath there. It's going my way. And this is a personal preference. You don't have to. You could sit there and say, okay, I'm going to take this. You shouldn't be trading anyways, but anyhow. My point is, and this is why we don't trade at these after hours, because this thing just falls apart, right? Even if this was your wash, which it is, and that's your shelf, maybe your shelf is down here then. Maybe your shelf is right here. And you're going to say, okay, I'm going to do, that's still 40. There's a trade right there. Problem that I have is like this doesn't hit anywhere in here. It doesn't hit until here, right? And now you don't get your orders picked up. So you can just see how different it is and how you would want to have certain things in place, to make it a solid, clean, readable trade that I could, you should be able to have this conversation with, a first grader. Which way is the market going? It's going up. Okay, great. And then how do I get a 3-to-1 trade? And you're going to say, well, you've got to have these things happen. And it's right there. You're in at 12:15. You're out at 12:51. And the best part of it is you're in this piece of the puzzle, in this wash right here, or the pressure cooker. The other day, I got popped on a pressure cooker. This guy right here. I'm not trying to relive old trades, but this is how frustrating is this. I got long here. This is last week, and this is Friday. And I drew this up, and nope. Back up. Right? I got long here. There's my wash, right? Or my wash. And guys, you can tell, you just get so excited when you see this stuff. You're like, oh man, I get this. I get it. And you got your thing here, and this is where, remember we're talking about, right? So I'm here, and I'm making money, right? And as price goes up, I follow it up, right? I'm like right here, and then I move over on the other side. As price is starting to climb up, I move over here. Why am I doing that? Well, I don't want to give up that chunk. I want to manage my money properly. Sometimes I do let it ride, sometimes I don't. But look at this. This thing here, this pressure cooker, doesn't even, it just kisses it. It just, like, just, and then I get stopped out right here. And then I'm bummed because I thought it was going to go. And then I was like, okay, that was, and I can't live in a world of, oh, that was a good decision or not. The decision is made over here. Impulse leg, shelf, right? Step 2, or step 4, hits, it bounces off of this here, or takes it out. It goes out, boom, it lands right on the shelf. It goes, right? Why am I getting long here? Well, let's look at our, excuse me. Where's my, boom. I'm getting long here because on the hourly, I'm right in this piece, right? And it's actually it's actually no surprise that this whole thing happened because price hit the pressure cooker and bounced off. And what did it bounce into? Top of the wash. Right, look at that. I just playing around. Oh yeah. So I know these washes have a place in this whole pile of stuff. How to organize it. Why am I getting long? It's probably going to go up here and take out all these guys. Right? There's stops right here. Right? Somebody sold this. It has a stop right there. Right? They're all the way down here though. Right? But there's stops right on top of this right here. There's stops right there. And they're all going to get popped. Now, today, I don't know. Today's a Fed day. So I'm really just chilling out, not doing a whole lot. I'm going to watch for sure. I'm going to trade up to, no, do you guys see this? See this little coil right here? Right? That's just business. There's going to be a bounce off that. Price is going to do something, right? There's a wash, wash, wash. Let's say it comes down here and then it goes like that. Could, right? If you're gonna play the news, where do you want to be? I would sell this line. The nice healthy stop. That's too big for me, but I would be up above here, something like that. Price is gonna hit here somewhere and go down. And I can already start to see it getting a little junky. See this here? Nice and flowy. Junky. My mentor used to say that. I was like, yeah, I get it, but I don't really, until you actually start to really feel it, see it, live it, breathe it, right? I gotta stop right there. Right there's my stop. Everyone's holed up right here behind this guy right here, right? Buyer. These guys are getting smart. There's a shelf, right? We just found a shelf in this impulse leg. Look at this, guys. Yeah, right? Hopefully you hung on long enough to hear the end of this video. Hopefully you're a member so you can catch this before the market opens and just get a little insight. All right, I gotta go. Be careful out there and use a stop.